Discussion regarding resolution authorizing professional services contract with Joseph Martucci for local government meteorologist services.
Council, this idea generated from a meeting of our floodplain management committee that meets under Tom Thornton's leadership in the fall with several meetings. And we have a few members of the committee who are in this room today that have been integral members of this committee to try to find better ideas, more ideas about how to improve resiliency and get the message out. During one of those meetings, we talked about the shift over to video, social media, and other platforms that felt would be a more valuable tool than static graphics. And at that point, a year ago, I began discussions with Joe Martucci, and Joe and I talked very openly and candidly. We can get the weather, but what we need is what's the impact on Avalon when we have these really sloppy events that come into town. Council was gracious to give this a one-year trial to see how it worked. During that time, we were unfortunately blessed with Hurricane Erin, Columbus Day weekend storm, and a blizzard that really put the test to this process that we have. I've asked Joe to put together a very short presentation to go through a little bit of this to see what we've done in the first year. And if council is agreeable, we would respectfully ask council to renew this agreement for 1 year. So
Joe's ready.
I'm ready. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, council. I appreciate it. And yes, it's been a very busy 12 months, especially with the snow. And it looks like actually next winter won't be as snowy as this winter, but that's another story for another day. With our ShorelySafe plan for this year, and Scott, I just have a couple of images that are going to pop up here. So we focus on the municipality, in this case, Avalon here, with storm-specific forecasts that we did on video here. Scott, as you mentioned, video is very important. People really consume video information even more than written text. So to further enhance official communications, we also do evergreen videos to keep a presence, with the various departments within Avalon throughout the year, producing videos that increase engagement and provide awareness about flooding or beach or weather hazards. And then also what I would call traditional weather consulting, essentially decision-making support internally for the town when it comes to things like when to send snow plows out, what we needed to know in terms of Hurricane Erin, when the waves were going to be most dangerous, or the coastal flooding that we saw that day, which was actually the highest summertime tide on record for Avalon last August. If we go to the next slide, and we have our new tidal flooding dashboard, but in terms of year one, as Scott said, there were three main events. We had Hurricane Erin, and that's when we started with these weather videos for the town. Our first video got 26,000 views. And we're going to assume that most of that was people who had an interest in Avalon, with plenty of engagements on Facebook and also decision support for those days. Then we had the Columbus Day weekend nor'easter. Thankfully, the flooding wasn't as significant as Erin, but we saw 42,000 views. And this was just on Facebook alone. I know there were some more on the website itself, but plenty of positive comments. I was actually going through them when I was putting together this presentation. Lots of good comments from the community as well, enjoying that we were talking about Avalon and we weren't talking about Stone Harbor or Sea Isle City, what was happening in their town, where to move their cars, and etc. And then with the blizzard of 2026, was a technical blizzard that we had. I thought we had a good traffic for what was probably the lowest point of the season in terms of people who are here in the town. And I believe Scott and I had a conversation about this was generally a 65 plus audience, which was really good for what we are trying to do as we go into, parts of the off season as well. We did a variety of evergreen videos that really touched on a variety of departments, including our most recent one, which is signing up for the reverse 911 with Scott and Kevin on producing a video that makes it very simple to know how to sign up for those critical alerts. We want to produce content that's engaging, but also going to help increase awareness around a variety of different hazards as well throughout the year here in Avalon. So we touched on different seasons, different weather or flooding hazards, and how to be more prepared for them. There's one more image there, Scott, right in the middle. That's all right. This was talking about how many inches of water it takes to really move a person or a car, and corresponding that with how Avalon floods, throughout some of our significant events. Also, too, if we go forward, this is our new tidal flooding dashboard. So what we've done as a company in the past really 6 months is develop additional software products for you to help with decision support, communications, and also things that are public facing as well. So this is our tidal flooding dashboard that we have for Avalon. The QR code takes you to the dashboard if you want to hit it now, but it pinpoints likely flood timing. It actually will tell you right at the top how many hours we're expected to be in flood stage and what flood stage we're supposed to be in. And we also are able to pull full, if we go to the next slide, a full historical archive of every high tide on record for Avalon. Now, this actually is not something you can easily find publicly. We were able to essentially mine all this data and create this so you can see hey, when was the last time we had flooding that was between 7 to 7.5 feet? You can do that. One of the great things, and this relates to what we did in ShorelySafe, was during our October nor'easter, what I found a lot of good feedback from both in and outside the Avalon was how we compared it to what the flooding was like in August and how it was going to compare with that October nor'easter as well. But you can also compare historical trends. Thankfully, Avalon's about average for tidal flooding so far this year, not on the high end, so that's good. You can view flooding by the month, and then there's a variety of different tools there. It's also mobile friendly too. We wanted to make sure anything we do is mobile friendly since we know that that's where everybody is. If you go to the next slide, this is, the key message that I've learned over time is people, while the public may not know what 7.2 above mean lower low water means like for their house, they know what that day or that event meant for their house or their condo or their car. And those are the kind of things we can do. Both what we're going to do with ShorelySafe with public videos and our consulting that we do, but also on the internal side as well for the staff here. And so it's a very user-friendly and mobile-friendly way of getting that information as well. And then I believe the next slide is looking ahead. We actually just launched a proprietary flood mapper. Now, this is able to provide hourly weather-driven flooding forecasts at 5-foot resolution, including the depth of what the water would be like. We have a proprietary model that we are going to take to patent and be able to show you that. It's live. The beta's live now. I have the link for it, but you'll be able to see also what every historical high tide looked like in the town based on what the height was. And we're building a lot more with this as well. This is still version 1.0, but we have ideas for 2.0 already. And then I'll be at the Aloha meeting as we go into June as well. Very good. Awesome. And so I'll be there in June, and I'll have a table and we'll be able to show this as well, but I can send a link too. But overall, I really value the partnership. As Scott kind of alluded to, we had a really open discussion. He actually gave me essentially the idea for this, and I'm really appreciative of it. Avalon's been really great to me, and I really appreciate everyone's support and belief in what we do here. And, we would appreciate consideration for next year as well. No increase for next year as a thank you for being the first with us. Thank you very much. Scott, did I miss anything?
No, I'd like to point out that the flood dashboard, as we go into a subsequent high tide event and a flooding event in town, first question we're asked is, how's it compared to the last one we had? This will tell us. This is going to be a key communications piece for us. Both the dashboard and the flood mapper come at no expense to the borough of Avalon. Joe and I were able to work within the package that council authorized to keep the dollars the same. And I think it's important to note, we saw on one slide, Avalon has a class 3 CRS rating, 35% discount for our property owners on flood insurance. We maximize the public information points, which is unheard of because of things like this. We're asking for council's consideration to go at it for another year. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Joe, you've done a great job, and thank you very,
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks.